Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Guys Time. Welcome back. I know it's been a while, but we got to talk about NFL football. Dude, did you guys see that Sunday night football game last night? We had the Bills and the Ravens. Two great teams, two great quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Unbelievable. One of the best games I ever watched. And what a great way to start off the Sunday night football season. And what a great way to wrap up the Sunday slate of NFL games yesterday. We got to talk about that. And then Michigan sports this weekend were god-awful, with the exception of Michigan State. Congrats to them. They won that second overtime thriller against Boston College at home. We'll get into all that in a little bit. But yeah, the rest of the Detroit sports and Michigan sports were god-awful this weekend. But yeah, Buffalo Bills and the Ravens. So we got to talk about this. So the Bills, they end up winning this game 41-40. They were down 40-25. They were down by 15 points with 4 minutes left in the game. How is this even possible? 2 words. Josh Allen, the reigning NFL MVP. He came back. He led his team down to the field, and they ended up winning the game. This game was absolutely phenomenal. One of the best games, like I said, I've watched in my entire life. But yeah, to be down that much late in the fourth quarter and to come back and win, unreal. So 9-play drive, 66-yard drive with the final 86 seconds left in this game. Matt Prater, yes, Matt Prater, still in the NFL, signed to the team last week, kicks the game-winning field goal. What a way to end this game. So you had that going on. Josh Allen, 34 for 46, 394 yards. 2 touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. If you have him on your fantasy football team, you are a happy person today. Derrick Henry, this guy was unbelievable in this game. 169 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. I have him in one of my fantasy football leagues, so thank you very much, Mr. Henry there. But unfortunately, he made a critical mistake at the wrong time. He fumbled the ball with 3 minutes left. It's like, oh my God, how is this even possible? You had a great game. You were unstoppable. No one could beat you. And then this happens, man. I'm just like, oh my goodness. How? Why? You gotta be kidding me. Great game. Most of that game for King Henry. And then he fumbles the damn ball with 3 minutes left. And then the Buffalo Bills took advantage of that opportunity. They recovered. They scored on that drive. They kicked off the ball. Their defense went on the field, forced a 3-and-out, and then Josh Allen got the ball again. And they ended up winning the game, 41-40. So that was insane. Lamar Jackson, 3 total touchdowns in this game, 14 for 19, 209 yards. It was crazy. And then Derrick Henry obviously made it 40-25 with 11.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You saw these people leave the stadium, right? I mean, they're just leaving. They don't care anymore. This is, they're done. Right? I mean, it was unbelievable. They were just like, I've had it with this. Well, you guys try to come back in? Nah. Not so fast, my friend. Like the great Lee Corso always says, or did say when he was on College Game Day, he's not there anymore. That does still break my heart, by the way. But that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, you can't come back. No re-entry policy. Nah. You should have stayed because it's not over until it's over. I've said this numerous times on Guys Time. But this game was absolutely phenomenal. And you wonder why Josh Allen is the reigning NFL MVP. Oh, Lamar Jackson probably should have won it. No, I think the NFL got it right with that guy. Because Josh Allen is absolutely phenomenal. And he proved it last night. Down 15, I don't care. I'm going out there and I'm winning this game for my team. I am a leader. I am the franchise quarterback. Let's go. That's exactly what happened. And this is the rematch from the divisional round of the playoffs last season. The Buffalo Bills once again won that game against the Ravens, 27-25. Another great game there. It seems like Josh Allen has Lamar Jackson's number. Like, Lamar, what's going on, buddy? You want to separate yourself from the pack. I mean, you're still a great quarterback, but Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, I mean, you got to win these games, man. Jalen Hurts even. You got to win these games. It's about Sunday Night Football. It's the first Sunday Night Football game of the 2025 NFL season. You guys were up by 15 points in the fourth quarter. How do you lose this game? Well, like I said, Derrick Henry with that fumble late in the fourth quarter. And then Buffalo just couldn't be stopped after that. Offense scored twice. Obviously, the game-winning field goal by Matt Prater, and then that defense with that third 3-and-out. It was unbelievable. But you got to win these games if you're Lamar Jackson. Keon Coleman, 8 receptions, 112 yards, a touchdown. Zay Flowers, I have him in both of my leagues. I had him starting in one of my leagues, and then like an idiot, I had him on my bench in my other league. But I think I'm good this week. I think I won both weeks, so we'll be good with that. But yeah, Zay Flowers, 7 receptions, 143 yards, a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, he's still in the league. He had a touchdown yesterday, and then a little incident with the fan. He touched him in the head, and then the idiot fan thought it was a good idea to hit Lamar Jackson's helmet, and then Lamar Jackson pushed him into the stands. So obviously that's going to be a talking point today on the radio, the sports talk radio shows, and ESPN and Fox Sports. So that'll probably get investigated. We'll see what happens there. But DeAndre Hopkins, another touchdown. And then going back to that incident, it's like, as a fan, why can't you just sit down, shut the hell up, and watch the game? You paid thousands of dollars for that. Why would you act like an idiot? It's simple, because these people want to be the center of attention. Hey, Mom, I'm on TV. Just sit down and watch the game and shut up. It's that simple. Like, why would you do that? Because now they're going to look into this, and that fan's probably going to be banned for life. Like, why are you touching a player? First of all, why are you smacking him in the helmet? Why are you getting involved with any of the players on the field? Just sit down, shut up, watch the game. I hope he gets banned for the rest of for life, because he's an idiot. So you had that going on. Stupid situation there. But, dude, this game was unbelievable. 41-40. How do you get any better than that? So you had that going on. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, classic matchup there. AFC matchup. Sunday Night Football, the first one of the year. How do you even top this game? I mean, next week, what is it? You got the Falcons and the Vikings? Sounds exciting on paper, but it's hard to beat this one. And this is the first one. This is only the first Sunday Night Football game of the season. How do you top that in terms of drama, energy, passion, excitement? How do you top it? You don't. And that's why I'm wearing a Josh Allen jersey today, because he deserves it. He deserves the praise and the attention and the appreciation for how he played last night. So you had that going on. The Ravens, they got to play the Browns, who just lost to the Bengals, who we all know can't win week 1. But they did yesterday. So good for the Bengals there. But the Browns 0-1 going into week 2. They got the Ravens this Sunday. And then you got the Buffalo Bills, another division matchup there, AFC East, going up against the Jets, who lost in the back and forth battle between the Steelers and the Jets. That was a great game. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns against his former team. Crazy. That was a hell of a game. But the Jets and Aaron Glenn, former Lions defensive coordinator, new head coach for the Jets, looking to find ways to bounce back from that game against the Steelers. But yeah, week 1 was great. Sunday Night Football, great way to wrap up the Sunday slate of games. Josh Allen, the Bills, man, finding a way to come back. Unbelievable. So you had that game. Now, we got to talk about the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, this game was god-awful. And I knew we were going to have trouble in this game when Jordan Love had 20-plus seconds in that pocket to throw the damn ball. I mean, he didn't get sacked. Our defense could not get a sack. Our pass rush yesterday was absolute garbage. It was garbage. Packers win 27-13. Should have been a lot worse than that. Lions, like I said, they could never get any pressure on Jordan Love. He had all day to throw. His offensive line, like I said. I mean, is this more about our defensive line, our pass rush being horrible? Or was the offensive line just that damn good yesterday for the Green Bay Packers? A little bit of both. You got to give credit to the Green Bay Packers. That offensive line was great. But yeah, I knew when he had all that time to throw and then they score on the opening drive, I'm just like, oh, okay. This is going to be a tough one. And I get it's the first game of the season. We can't really freak out. Hold on. I mean, I'm not going to freak out, right? But is there a tiny bit of concern with this Detroit Lions team so far? Yes. Yes. And if you're a fan, if you're not a little bit of concern about what happened yesterday at Green Bay, against Green Bay, Well, what game were you watching yesterday, dude? I mean, you saw what did the Lions do? They couldn't do anything. And then they get the ball after Packers scored on their opening drive, of course, because our secondary was god awful, and we go 3-and-out. Now, Jared Goff putting all these numbers up, signing these big contracts. He's the franchise quarterback. How do you allow a 3-and-out on your first possession on the road against a division rival? It's already a hard time to play at Lambeau Field and win. But when you have your first offensive possession, you allow a 3-and-out? Like, come on, dude. It was no bueno. It was not good for the Detroit Lions yesterday. Field goals, they were kicking field goals. That's great, but it's not going to win you games against the Packers, especially at Lambeau Field. It was horrible. It was horrible yesterday. And then 0 sacks for the Detroit Lions defense. So, like I said, our pass rush was garbage. Like, where's Aiden Hutchinson? Marcus Davenport, was he even on the field? Oh, yeah, we're good, though. We're good. Get it. Like I said earlier, it's week 1. Don't freak out, but I am a bit concerned. Now they got the Chicago Bears this weekend, this Sunday. If they played how they played yesterday against the Bears, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. I'm going to be, my concern level is going to go up 2 or 3 notches. Because, you can't do that. And then this is from Field Yates, fantasy football guru. Shout out to him. Jahmyr Gibbs, he had 10 catches in this game. 10 catches, right? That's a great stat. For 31 yards. 31 yards, that was it. It's the fewest receiving yards in a game where a player had at least 10 catches in NFL history. So he caught the ball 10 times. Only had 31 yards. Okay. Whoa. And the fact that he caught the ball 10 times, like he's our leading receiver. Where's Amon-Ra St. Brown? Where's Sam Laporta? Where's Isaac Tesla? Where's J-Mo? You just signed him to a 3-year, $83 million contract. Where's he at? Why is our running back getting thrown to 10 times and catching the ball 10 times for 31 yards? That's a little bit concerning. And again, we have 2 new coordinators. We got Johnny Morton coming over from the Broncos. You got Kelvin Shepard, who was the linebackers coach last year. He's the defensive coordinator this year. So 2 new coordinators, and that was the talking point. Oh, Ben Johnson, he's gone. He's with Chicago. Oh, Aaron Glenn, he's with the Jets now. Oh, the Lions are going to be in trouble. Well, you saw that game yesterday. They were in a lot of trouble. It was bad. It was bad. And then, Johnny Morton's in the press box. I don't know why he's not on the sideline. Ben Johnson, I think Ben Johnson's more involved. Too early to tell. I get it. But that play calling was atrocious. I'm sorry. Like, why are we running the ball when there's 8 guys in the box for Green Bay? Why? Why are we trying to make Jahmyr Gibbs invincible? Like, that's how he gets hurt. And then we're screwed because, we're going to rely on David Montgomery for the rest of the year? Sorry, there's 17 weeks in the regular season now. We need Jahmyr Gibbs. Help him out. Like, stop running the damn ball when there's 8 guys in the box. And then Jared Goff. Why is he not throwing the ball 20-plus yards down the field? Why is he throwing 3-yard passes? That's not going to work. And it didn't. Like, why are we on a 3rd and 7? Why are we throwing a 5-yard curl? You need 2 more yards to get a first down. Why are we throwing short route passes in this game? Like, that was one of the main reasons why we lost yesterday. Like, what's going on? Growing pains, I guess. I don't know. Ben Johnson, Johnny Morton, tomato, apples to oranges, whatever. But, dude, give Jared Goff a chance. Let him throw that ball. Show off his arm. Do something. That's horrible. That was a horrible display of football that I saw yesterday with the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff, 31 for 39, 225 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Yeah, it was. Like I said earlier, throwing short passes. You're not setting yourself up for success, for drives, to continue with those drives, so you can keep that tired defense on the field when you're throwing 3-yard passes, 5-yard passes, screen passes, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then our guys getting absolutely annihilated. What are we doing? What are we doing as a franchise? What are we doing as an offense calling bullcrap like that? So Johnny Morton, you better get something. You better get something going. You better get something figured out, dude, because that was god-awful. So, I don't know. Crazy, dude. Crazy game yesterday. And then the Detroit Lions rushing game, that was our bread and butter last year with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Sonic and Knuckles, right? Great combination. 46 yards total rushing yesterday for the Detroit Lions, for this Detroit Lions offense. 46 yards. That's it. What the hell? Why? How? Green Bay came up to came prepared. We did not look like the Detroit Lions from last year. It looked like we were kind of intimidated a little bit. And I don't know if it was because of the Michael Parsons effect. Yeah, he did play a couple snaps. He did have a sack. Good for him. Or maybe it's just, going to Lambeau Field, like you kind of just change your mindset a little bit. The mood changes a little bit. But dude, how? How does this happen? And then Jordan Love, 16 for 22, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their defense had 4 sacks. Jared Goff got sacked 4 times. What's going on with this offensive line? Why did we get rid of Zeitler? We should have signed him as soon as Frank Ragnow retired. Like, we have to keep Zeitler because he was one of our best offensive linemen last year. Yes, we got Sewell. I get that. We got Glasgow. We got Taylor Decker. But yeah, how did they do yesterday? Not good if our quarterback is getting sacked 4 times in this game. Hats off to the Green Bay Packers. But yeah, this game was horrible. Lions, 35 minutes, over 35 minutes of time of possession. And you only have 46 yards of rushing? Are you kidding me? 5 for 15 on third down? What are we talking about? How? What? Why? How is that even possible in this game? Packers had over 24 minutes of possession time. 4 for 10 on third down. They still won 27-13 because they executed perfectly. And then us, we just laid an egg. We went to Lambeau Field and we just decided not to play football. So the Lions got to figure something out. John Morton, he's got to figure something out with Jared Goff. He's got to work with him. I don't know what needs to happen. But yeah, that was awful. Play calling was atrocious. Our defense was horrible. Offensive line, a lot of questions there. Why is Jared Goff getting sacked 4 times? Frustrating, dude. I am frustrated. But I'm not freaking out. Like, let's don't confuse that. I'm just extremely frustrated because I thought this was going to be a more competitive game. 27-13. That's a fugazi, right? I mean, it should have been a lot worse. And then we'll talk about the Michigan game here in a little bit. But 27-13, it should have been like 49-6. But then I guess a bright spot, Isaac Tesla. Where was he this entire game? He's your rookie. He looked great in the preseason. He catches a one-handed grab for a touchdown. Both feet in before his ass hits out of bounds. That was a great play by Isaac Tesla. Rookie wide receiver out of Arkansas. Good for him. But this game, I mean, like I said, first game of the season. No, it's don't freak out. But, dude, you have to beat the Chicago Bears next week. Or this Sunday coming up. If you want to even be remotely in the conversation of playoffs. I mean, that game yesterday was horrible. Horrible. So Lions got the Bears next week. The Packers got the Commanders Thursday night. So short week for them. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. But yeah, the Lions, dude, not impressed at all. A little concerned, yes. Am I going to freak out? No. My freak out level will, like I said earlier, will go up 2 to 3 notches if they play like that against the Bears this weekend. But yeah, offensive line issues, horrible. Our defense, lack of pass rush. Jared Goff getting sacked 4 times. Our running backs catching the ball 10 times for 31 yards. Lions rushing game, bread and butter last year. 46 total yards rushing in this game. You had the ball for over 35 minutes, longer than the Green Bay Packers, and you still lose by 14. Figure it out. Because that was disgusting. So that was the Lions and Packers. So now the rest of the NFL, great week. I mean, Thursday Night Football, you had a classic rivalry with the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles. And the Eagles won 24-20. You had Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott. Yeah, that was real intelligent. I mean, what an idiot. Like, even before the game starts, you're spitting on the franchise quarterback. I mean, what's wrong with you? You know, there's something wrong with you, dude. And then Friday, we're going to Brazil, and the Chargers beat the Chiefs 27-21. That was a great game there. And then Buccaneers win 23-20 against the Falcons. Bengals, as I mentioned, they win 17-16 against the Browns, rather. Colts annihilated the Dolphins 33-8. Daniel Jones had 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. Danny Dimes, baby. The Raiders beat the Patriots 20-13. Ashton GT out of Boise State had his first career rushing touchdown, so good for him. Cardinals won 20-13 against the Saints. Steelers and Jets, as I mentioned earlier, that back and forth battle. Steelers win 34-32. Aaron Rodgers with 4 touchdowns against his former team. That was a great game. Jaguars win at home 26-10 against the Panthers. Broncos win 20-12 against the Titans. The 49ers win 17-13 against divisional rival, the Seahawks. Us Lions, laid an egg yesterday against the Packers. We lose that game 27-13. Rams win 14-9. Matthew Stafford, 60,000 passing yards. He's only the 10th quarterback in NFL history to accomplish that. So congrats to Matthew Stafford, longtime Lion. We'll always have respect for that man. And obviously the Sunday Night Football game last night, that absolute thriller, that instant classic between the Bills and the Ravens. Bills win that one 41-40. But now week 1 wraps up tonight. Monday Night Football, ABC, ESPN. You got the Vikings and the Bears, 8:15 starting time there. Bears at home, Vikings. This is a classic NFC rivalry matchup here. This is going to be a good one. I got the Vikings winning this one for Monday Night Football. So you have that. But yes, the Detroit Lions got to figure something out because that was horrible. Now we got to hop over to college football. We got to talk about this Michigan-Oklahoma game because just like the Lions game, very similar to the Lions game with the Packers yesterday, Michigan could not do a damn thing against the Oklahoma Sooners. So Oklahoma wins 24-13. And again, that score should have been a lot worse. We should have got absolutely annihilated. Michigan should have got absolutely destroyed by the Sooners. And we couldn't get a third down stop early in the matchup to save our life. I mean, Bryce Underwood, the true freshman quarterback, Belleville High School, originally committed to LSU. And he flipped over to Michigan because we're paying them $12.5 million for the NIL bull crap. 9 for 24. 9 for 24. And you know why that happens? Because you have a horrible play caller in Sharon Moore. You have a horrible game plan for Bryce Underwood. Let him throw the ball. Why are we running the ball so many times up the middle when there's 8 guys in the box? Similar to the Lions game. Why? Let him be Bryce Underwood. And the coaching staff at Michigan did not let this young man do what he does best, throw the ball. And yes, 9 for 24, yeah, there was a lot of passes he missed because he overthrew the receivers or he's throwing 100,000 miles per hour. But he's a true freshman quarterback. He's a kid, just turned 18 a couple weeks ago, rather. Let him be Bryce Underwood. Like, why? Why are we running the ball up the middle? Dude, he was flustered. And those passes, he lost confidence because you don't give him the opportunity to be Bryce Underwood. Yeah, let's just run up the middle when there's 8 guys in the box. Oh, here comes another draw play. Oh, here comes another misdirection. Oh, here comes another counter. Yeah, that really worked so great against Oklahoma, right? With 8 guys in the box. Yeah, that's a good plan there. But, yeah, 9 for 24, 142 yards. Horrible for Bryce Underwood. And I can't even blame him. I mean, yes, like I said earlier, a lot of passes that were garbage from him. I mean, he was overthrowing receivers. He was throwing the ball, all over the place. He wasn't accurate at all. But that's what happens when you don't let him cook early in the game. Justice Haynes, Alabama transfer. 19 carries, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. And then to start off the second half, he had a rushing touchdown for 75 yards, the opening play. Oh, Michigan's coming back. They're in the game. No. That was probably the only highlight from Michigan in that game, that 75-yard rushing touchdown from Justice Haynes. Like I said, Alabama transfer. He did okay. But then the wide receiver core for Michigan, Donovan McCulley, three catches for 91. Channing Godwin, 1 for 25. Samaj Morgan, been there for a while, 1 for 19. Yeah, let's just keep running the ball. Let's don't show off Bryce Underwood's arm. Nah, we just paid him $12.5 million to hand the ball off. Or let him use his legs. He can run the ball. There was a couple times where he did scramble and he got positive yardage. You didn't let him cook, and that's why he got flustered late in the game, because you didn't give him the confidence to let Bryce Underwood be Bryce Underwood. So that was horrible. John Mateer on the other side for Oklahoma. Great game. He looked absolutely phenomenal. 21 for 34, 270 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Transfer from Washington State. He looked really good, really composed. Led his team to victory, obviously, making big plays. That opening drive when Michigan had an opportunity to go 3 and out, and I think that would have set the tone for the rest of the game. On a 3rd and 9, may I remind you, 3rd and 9, and we allow a big pass play. 31-yard pass play, John Mateer to his tight end, who used to play linebacker. I forgot the gentleman's name. But, I mean, that destroys your defense's confidence if you can't get a 3 and out. Like, we get that 3 and out, not only is it a drive killer, but maybe Michigan might have a chance to score first. But no, we extend the drive off that big pass play, and then they end up scoring on their opening drive, Oklahoma. Well, to each their own, I guess. But yeah, 3rd and 9, like I said, opening drive. That's when John Mateer completed that 31-yard pass to Jaron Kanak. That was his name. Jaron Kanak, former linebacker, now tight end. First down, like I said, they got first down out there, and then they ended up scoring on that drive. Yeah, that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game, didn't it? 9 for 24 for Mr. Bryce Underwood. Oh, yeah, let's just keep running the ball. That works. Oklahoma, 408 total yards on offense. Michigan had 288 yards. 3rd down, Michigan, 3 for 14. And that was another, I guess, part of the game. Another talking point. 3 for 14 on 3rd down. Yeah, one of many reasons why he lost this game against Oklahoma. He couldn't convert on 3rd down. You're not helping Bryce Underwood at all. Like, convert on third downs. Extend that drive. Oklahoma is a good team. They're 2-0 now. They're 13. They're ranked number 13 now. Michigan went all the way back to 23. They were 15 coming into this game. Now they're 23. So they went down. They went down 8 spots. And then Oklahoma, they were ranked 18th, and they moved up 5 spots. They're 13 now. But yeah, 3 for 14 on 3rd down. That's good, boys. Yep, keep going. You're doing a good job. So now Michigan, after that embarrassing performance against Oklahoma Saturday night in Norman, Oklahoma, out of all places, they got Central Michigan coming up next. No Sharon Moore, though. He's suspended for the next 2 games. So at home against Central Michigan, and then on the road against Nebraska, no Sharon Moore. We will see what kind of Michigan teams we will see. We will see what kind of Michigan team will be on that field these next couple of weeks without the head coach, because obviously he's suspended for his involvement in the Michigan scandal, a cheating scandal. So he will be off the sidelines the next 2 games. But yeah, Central Michigan. What can Michigan do? And then obviously you got Nebraska the following weekend. But let's focus on Central Michigan. Okay, Oklahoma, it's done and over with. We played like crap. Bryce Underwood didn't look good. You didn't help him out anyway. You didn't give him confidence. Our defense got awful, giving up too many big plays. We got to clean that up going to Central Michigan this Saturday. And Oklahoma's got Temple. Should be an easy win for Oklahoma. But it is college football. I mean, South Florida beat Florida. Big upset there this past weekend. And a couple weeks ago, you had LSU beating Clemson in a great game there. So we'll see what happens. But Michigan, they got to come back from this, because this was A horrible performance. But that's what happens when you hype up a true freshman quarterback who plays New Mexico, the New Mexico Lobos, and New Mexico actually put up a fight in that game. At home. Oh, yeah, he looked great. Oh, he made some great throws. Oh, he looked composed. Oh, he was amazing. Yeah, you go to Oklahoma, and I said this on my videos on social media. This was going to be Michigan's biggest test. This was going to be Bryce Underwood's biggest test. Going to Oklahoma and see what you can do. Well, thumbs down. That was horrible. So, Michigan got to get ready for Central Michigan. It's done over with. Moving on to the Chippewas this Saturday. So that's football. That's Michigan football. But yeah, great weekend of college football. Great weekend of NFL. Like I said, Michigan State winning that double overtime thriller against Boston College. Probably should have watched that game, right? So one Michigan team won, I guess, because the Lions lost, the Wolverines lost, the Red Wings and the Pistons are not even playing yet. Now we got to go to the Detroit Tigers because, God almighty, these guys cannot beat the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox are like our kryptonite. Them and the Athletics. We cannot beat those teams for some reason, some weird reason. So Tigers, this past weekend, they dropped 2 out of 3 against the Chicago White Sox. One of the worst teams in baseball, last place in the AL Central. Tigers are 8.5 games up against the Kansas City Royals, who did lose to the Twins yesterday. The White Sox are 55-89. 55 wins and 89 losses. Last 10 games, they're 7-3. They're officially eliminated from the playoffs. And we just dropped 2 out of 3 against them at home. How? So yeah, last place in the AL Central for Chicago White Sox. Eliminated from the playoffs. Lost 2 out of 3. The Tigers did. Coming into this series against the Chicago White Sox, this should have been a sweep, in my opinion. This should have been an easy series for the Detroit Tigers to get back on track because coming into the series, you lost 2 out of 3 against the Mets. I did go to one of the games Tuesday night. That was a great experience. If you haven't seen my photos and everything, it's on Instagram, my Facebook channel, or Facebook page rather, at Zach Bryce, ZACBRYS. That was an amazing experience. They got absolutely crushed, 12-5 in that game against the Mets. But you come into this series dropping 2 out of 3 at home against the Mets. Good team. But then you play a horrible team, a crappy team in Chicago, White Sox, and you drop 2 out of 3 against those guys? How? Let me tell you how. So we got the Yankees next. They're 80-63. They're 7-3 the last 10 games. The Yankees are red hot. We're off today. We got them tomorrow. We got to go to New York, so that's a very hostile environment to try to win ball games. We'll see if the Tigers can bounce back from this weekend because this weekend was god-awful. And then the Yankees, they're coming into this series against the Tigers. They won 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, who have the 3rd best record in baseball. So, like I said, they got the hot hand. But then the Detroit Tigers, last 10 games, they're 4-6. 4-6 in the last 10 games. We got playoffs in a few weeks. Oh yeah, you're first place in the AL Central, 8.5 games up. But when you're losing to the Chicago White Sox, what does that even mean? What is even the point of being up 8.5 games in the AL Central, having the 4th best record when we're losing to crappy teams like Chicago? And this is all on the homestand. Like, we were 2-4 this entire homestand. Lost 2 out of 3 against the Mets. Lost 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. So 2-4. 2-4 this entire homestand. Then we got to go on the road to New York, Miami. We come back for Cleveland. And then come back for, stay home at Atlanta. And then we got to go to Cleveland. And then we end the season going to Boston. That's how the rest of the season works for the Tigers. So New York, Miami, Cleveland, Atlanta, Cleveland, Boston. You got to get some wins against the New York Yankees. Like I said, 7-3 in the last 10. Get something going, boys. Because that's god-awful. And then the game yesterday. This is a stat line from some of your star players on the Detroit Tigers. So Gleyber Torres signed him to a multi-million-dollar deal from the New York Yankees. 0 for 3 yesterday. Riley Green 0 for 3. Spencer Torkelson, 0 for 4. Parker Meadows, who's been struggling all season, 0 for 3. Zach McKinstry, 0 for 3. You wonder why we cannot win games. Your star, quote-unquote star players can't even get a damn hit. Pitching yesterday, Charlie Morton. Yeah, he's been a real hoot this season. 3 earned runs. Tommy Cano. Oh, yeah, he's a great reliever. 2 earned runs. He's horrible. I've said it numerous times here on Guys Time. He's horrible. Get rid of the guy. But pitching and lack of offense is why we've lost. Why we lost 4 games at home. Went 2-4 at home against the Mets and the Chicago White Sox. Where are the bats? Where's the pitching? Gotta figure it out tomorrow against the Yankees. Going to the Yankee Stadium, so have fun with that, boys. But you gotta figure it out because that was horrible. 2 out of 3 again, and you dropped 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. It's baseball, I guess. I don't know, but they got to figure it out tomorrow against the Yankees. So, done with baseball. We end the episode today. We got to talk about boxing because this Saturday night, Netflix, 8 p.m., we got the fight of the century. The biggest fight you will ever see in boxing. It should be a good one. I'm trying to hype it up a little bit, as you can tell, right? Saturday, Netflix, 8 p.m., you got Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest boxers of all time, a legend. Definitely a Hall of Famer, without question. Going up against Terrence Bud Crawford, undefeated. And it's for Canelo's undisputed super middleweight championship. It's on the line. He's the first ever boxer to become this undisputed super middleweight champion. So Terrence Crawford's got to gain weight. And you know what? I've seen some pictures. That guy looks jacked. He looks ready to go, man. Whew. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, biggest fight in boxing history. Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford. Canelo, 63-2 record, 39 knockouts. You got Terrence Crawford, 41-0, undefeated with 31 knockouts. Crawford, he's a former undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. Welterweight and light welterweight. And in the 4-belt era, he's the only boxer to accomplish that. Unbelievable. Like I said, Hall of Famer without question. It's in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. That's where the Vegas Raiders play. So you know all the stars are coming out. You know, we're probably going to see a lot of celebrities, musicians, former boxers. Everyone's going to be there. You know, Oscar De La Hoya is going to be there without question. Probably Mike Tyson. You know, some of the biggest names, some of the greatest boxers of all time. This is a huge event, and it's happening this Saturday, guys. Don't miss it. Netflix, check it out. Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. You don't want to miss it. I will watch this fight. I got a tribute concert I'm going to with my family. But for damn sure, I am not missing this fight. So it's a classic Orthodox versus Southpaw matchup. Orthodox for Canelo Alvarez, Southpaw for Terrence Bud Crawford. You love to see it. But yeah, the undisputed super middleweight title is on the line. 168 pounds, man. That's a lot of weight that Terrence Crawford has to gain. But like I said, I saw a couple of videos of him. That guy looks jacked, man. I mean, he looks like a tank, ready to go. Well, hopefully everything works out this week. They both make weight. They both stay healthy. And we're gonna see a great boxing fight, guys. So yeah, Netflix, 8 p.m. Check it out. This Saturday night, mark your calendars. Don't do anything. You're going to witness a great boxing fight. So Canelo, the payouts for this fight. Canelo's expected to make $150 million from this fight. Crawford's already guaranteed $10 million. Yeah, $150 million, $10 million. Whoo! The discrepancy there. Crazy. But you could make more, obviously, with pay-per-view, you know, Netflix subscriptions or pay-per-view buys, whatever, sponsorships, endorsements. But yeah, the deal, obviously, Canelo, I said before on Guys Time many months ago when we were talking about Canelo Alvarez. He has a deal with Riyadh Season, a 4-fight, $400 million contract. So Canelo Alvarez is getting paid, man. So is Terrence Crawford. And I think once the fight is over, we're going to see the final numbers when it comes to payouts. These guys are getting paid very generously for this fight. And why not, right? Two of the best boxers to ever compete. Undisputed super middleweight title on the line in Vegas. I mean, legends are going to be made. Legacies are going to be established. I can't wait for this fight, man. It's going to be awesome. And then, like I said, yeah, they were expected to make more from pay-per-view sponsorships and endorsements. But who's going to win this fight? I got picked. The Bryce has to make this pick. You got Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Who will win? Terrence Crawford had to put up 20 plus pounds to make weight for the weight class, super middleweight. Canelo Alvarez, you know, obviously a legend in his own right. Who am I going to pick? I have to go with Terrence Crawford. He will win this fight and become the undisputed super middleweight champion. All the kings come down at one point. All the kings reign come down at one point. I think it's time. I think it's Terrence Crawford's time to become the undisputed super middleweight champion. But this is going to be a great fight. Like I said, check it out this weekend. Netflix, 8 o'clock. Don't be lame. Check it out. And then in other boxing news, right here in Clinton Township, Michigan, Macomb Township, Michigan, you got Kamel Macklin and Savannah Tini, teammates from New Way Training Center. They're both on the same card next Friday, September 19th. My birthday. Unfortunately, I won't be in the area. I'll be up north golfing, so I will unfortunately miss these two compete. I'm heartbroken about that, but it is what it is. It happens. But yeah, next Friday, September 19th, Fox Theater, guys. Detroit, Michigan. Bringing back boxing. First time I think I saw in like 20 plus years. A great venue, a very interesting venue for boxing fights. It's going to be a great night. Kamel Macklin looking to become 4-0 in his pro boxing career. And then Savannah Tini rising through the ranks, looking to become 6-0 in her pro boxing career. Get your tickets now. They are running fast. Contact Kamel Macklin on his Facebook page, his Instagram page, and then contact Savannah Tini on her Facebook page and her Instagram page. You don't want to miss these two fights. They are entertaining. They're great boxers. They always put on the show. You got to check them out, man. If you're not doing anything next Friday, on my birthday, September 19th, Fox Theater, go watch these guys compete. But yeah, that was great to see teammates from New Way, Kamel Macklin, Savannah Tini on the same card next Friday, Fox Theater, Detroit, Michigan. Fight night in Detroit, in the Motor City. Get your tickets now. Contact them. You do not want to miss those two compete. And that's how we end this episode today. So thank you so much for joining me. I know it's been a while. You know, I got the Josh Allen jersey. Like I said earlier, he deserves the praise and the recognition. That guy was absolutely phenomenal last night. It was a great football game. An instant classic. One of the greatest games I ever watched. I mean, down 15, you come back. It doesn't get any better than that. So thank you again for joining me. This episode's going to be available. You guys already know the drill. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Stay safe out there, my friends. It is Monday. Go kick some ass. Enjoy the week. Right here in Michigan, it's supposed to be nice this week. So, yes, enjoy the day and do what you got to do. Watch Monday Night Football. Week 1 wraps up tonight. You got the Minnesota Vikings and the Bears. I got the Minnesota Vikings winning this game. So watch that game tonight, 8:15 on ESPN and ABC. Classic NFC North rivalry matchup there. And that's how week 1 ends. And then Fantasy Football Fanatics, I hope you guys are doing good. I know I'm good in both of my leagues this year, or this week rather. But yeah, it's been fun. And yeah, we just keep rolling, man. But yeah, boxing this weekend. You got Kamel Macklin and Savannah Tini next Friday at Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Get your tickets. Watch some college football. Watch some NFL tonight. Place your bets. Get your fantasy football lineups ready to go. You guys are amazing. All right, the prize is out. You guys have a great rest of your day. And stay safe out there, my friends.